Hi, and welcome. This is Anna Bevan Gravely with NCFREE, and I am joined by Sarah Crawford, who is running in Senate District 18. Sarah, before we get started, is there anything you'd like to share with us?
Oh, Anna, thank you so much for having me today. It really is an honor to be with you. I wish we could be together in person, but the circumstances require us to be like this. Um, I decided to run for Senate because there's a lot that we need to do in North Carolina for the people who live here, for our businesses to operate here. And there's just so much opportunity on the horizon. And particularly now, as we think about what we've all been going through over the past, 2 months now with COVID-19, and this is being recorded in May. I realize some people may be watching it later. We really do have a lot of work to do in North Carolina. I'm a mom. I work full time. I'm a mom of 2 kids who go to public schools, and I really care about what we're doing here in the state and the future for not just my children, but all of our children.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. So I'm just going to dive into the questions. Have you ever owned a business or been in a management position within a business?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I do currently serve as National Director for Single Stop. So I'm a part of the leadership team that runs this national nonprofit. And what we do is we work to help individuals on their path to economic prosperity and achieving the American dream. Additionally, in my spare time, I also own a small consulting company, Willow Strategies, and I help organizations and businesses with strategic planning, board development, and a host of other things. I've been able to help individuals, organizations, and businesses work to become more prosperous.
Awesome. Thank you. Would you say that the current level of federal and state taxation is too high, too low, or just about right?
Yeah, this is a great question too. When we think about taxation, we really have to think about it as a whole. The tax policy for North Carolina in whole, what is happening on the business front, what is happening when it comes to our hardworking families across the state. As business owners, which I am, and good citizens, we need to know what we are getting for our money. And we have to really look at the state budget and ask ourselves, do we have the money that we need to attract and retain businesses and attract and retain the brightest individuals, such as investments in education and healthcare? And we need to ensure that we are building an economy that I mentioned earlier. We need to look at ways to help our small businesses, especially our mom and pop stores that have been impacted by COVID-19. And that may look like things like some tax breaks for them as we work to recover on the other side of this.
Yeah. What would you say are the key principles of free enterprise in our economic system?
Yeah, so in this country, I really think that our system in the United States is based on 5 principles: the freedom to choose our businesses, the right to private property, profit, competition, and consumer sovereignty. And, as a state senator, I'm going to work to make sure that we protect business owners, the workers on which we rely, and the consumers who drive our economy.
Awesome. Thank you. So this question is actually pretty timely with everything that we're discussing on a federal level and a state level, and talking about COVID relief for businesses and for individuals. But in your opinion, what is the appropriate balance in the scope of federal and state regulatory requirements on business? And what, in your opinion, is the best way to balance the appropriate protections without impugning economic vitality?
Oh, yeah. Boy, now more than ever, we really need to think about this question. First and foremost, it's important to ensure safety and ensure that certain freedoms remain in place. I just named some of the key principles of free enterprise in our country, and the freedom to choose our businesses, the right to private property. But we also have to ensure that business owners and consumers are protected. And companies have to be providing their goods and services in a safe and reasonable manner. And as we think about what's happening now, I think what we want to do is we want to make sure that businesses can thrive, but that consumers also, and businesses and their workers can stay protected in this time of COVID-19. And so if that includes things like wearing masks or gloves or taking extra precautions to make sure that things are sanitized. I know I was out this weekend actually, and I saw many business owners that were doing just that. They put up plexiglass to make sure that people were safe. I'm really not interested in putting up roadblocks, but it is important to have those appropriate checks. This protects businesses, it protects their workers, and it protects our consumers, all of which are important for a strong economy. And I think, over the past 8 weeks, we've seen that even more so, that we need all three of those things to help our economy thrive. And we're going to need that to recover.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sarah, if elected, what would be your top 3 priorities as it pertains to the business community?
Only 3.
Only 3. just limiting down to 3, and it'll be hard.
So, I said this before, but we have to have an economy that works for all. In the line of work that I'm in with my nonprofit, we really look at how to help individuals thrive and how to help them get access to quality jobs. And with more than 1.5 million North Carolinians living in poverty, struggling to make ends meet, and with what the COVID-19 pandemic has done to impact so many workers and consumers in a negative way, we know that people across the state are hurting. We have to ensure that our existing businesses can thrive and that we can attract new businesses to the state. And what that means is making sure that we build up the infrastructure to support them and their workers. So we need to make sure that we have a world-class education system with people graduating that are ready for the workforce. I do a lot of work in the community college space, and the community college system is working to make sure that people have credentials that are needed for economy. So that being said, we also have to make sure that our community college system and our university system remain strong, affordable, and innovative to support students of all ages entering the workforce. And I think we're going to see that on the other side of COVID. We're going to see people who are coming back to school, maybe after being laid off, to get different credentials for a different type of job. And our universities and our colleges have to be ready for that. We have to invest in infrastructure that attracts businesses in order, like I said, to increase access to quality jobs. This means that we have to make the right investments in growth, our roads, transportation, and housing. And we have to expand access to affordable, reliable internet. And that's a big issue, especially in Senate District 18, where we have communities that don't have that access. And boy, do we need that now more than ever. All of these things combined, and job opportunities and helping businesses thrive, those are all interconnected. So I would really be focusing on those things, those infrastructure items that really help our businesses thrive.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. So before we close out, where can our members learn more about you?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a website. It's www.sarah4nc.com, and that is Sarah with an H, S-A-R-A-H, 4 all spelled out, sarah4nc.com. I'm also pretty active on social media, both on Facebook and on Twitter. I haven't quite gotten to Instagram and Snapchat yet, but Facebook and Twitter, you can find me there, and I try to keep posts updated regularly, try to provide reliable information, and we do some fun things as well. And my kids often make cameo appearances on Facebook. And my social media handles for Facebook and Twitter are the same, at Sarah Crawford NC. So I hope to see you there.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for spending the time with us and letting me talk to you and learn more about your heart and what you really care about. So thanks so much, and good luck on the campaign trail.
Great. Thank you, Anna, so much for having me, and thank you to all of your members.